We launched today a major coalition and advocacy efforts to mobilize people across this province to take action, to speak out for quality public services, the things that matter, the things that make the vibrancy of their community work. So we're here talking about education, post-secondary education, disability services, and to basically say that Alberta can afford to build quality public services and that we need to change the direction this government is going.
The government announces $550 million to build and renovate schools this week. Well, at the same time, we're facing $100 million in shortfall in programming for students that are already in our schools.
Our provincial government wants Albertans to believe that these are tough times. They want us to believe that the recession has left them with no choice but to trim budgets and cut funding, even for vital services like education. People like Premier Stalmach and Education Minister Dave Hancock put on their most sorrowful faces, and they say things like, "We're sorry, but really, we have no alternative." But ordinary Albertans know in their hearts and in their guts that there's something seriously wrong with this picture.
Due to underfunding of essential public services, the Community Disability Services continues to struggle with retention of its most skilled workers, as there has been no increase allowed for our staff for the past 3 years. This underfunding of programs and staff, of course, has a serious impact on some of Alberta's most vulnerable people, which should not be the case in such a privileged province.
These are not tough times. We are a province that can think big and dream big. And we are certainly a province that can afford to provide adequate, stable, long-term funding for the core services that we believe in, services like education and healthcare.
Our government chooses to forego billions in potential revenue and then asks its citizens, us, to accept substandard public services.
Alberta can afford to build quality public services and that we need to change the direction this government is going. But unless Albertans speak out on these issues, unless Albertans get engaged, we're going to see the same old thing about cuts and cuts and cuts. So ultimately it's up to mobilizing people across this province, and that's what Join Together Alberta is doing, and that's what we're launching here today. Our community town halls are going to take place through the month of June. We're going to be going to 7 cities across Alberta. All of these events will take place at 7 o'clock. All of these events are free, and what we really want is to get people out to not only hear about these messages, but again, to take away the advocacy toolkits, to get involved as citizens, and to also share their stories about how these cuts are really impacting on our communities.